2025 has just started, and I have 5 AI tools that I have been using for quite a while, and ones that I think are just too good not to share. So, if you want to, one, get practical, useful AI tools that you can implement straight away, and two, for the most part, they are free, then stick around. I definitely think you can get some benefit out of this video. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jagger. By day, I'm an AI product manager. By night, I own an AI agency. I also create content on AI. And if you are someone that is after practical tips in the most simple way possible when it comes to AI, definitely stick around. I have a newsletter that's completely free. If you want to join that, the link's in the description. But without any further ado, let's get into the video. Alrighty, so kicking it off with Napkin.ai or Napkin.ai. And on Notion here, which is just a little bit of an overview for the 5 AI tools we'll be covering, I've actually used Napkin.ai here. So what Napkin.ai is it basically will turn text into visuals. So think of things like diagrams and infographics. It's perfect for presentations or social media content. So let's do a little bit of a demo here. I'm going to go to Napkin.ai. And there's 2 versions, or there's two ways you can do this, right? So if you click new napkin, you can draft with AI, or you can do a blank napkin. So for example, if we go blank napkin, right, you can add in any of your text here. So the product launch roadmap, for example, if I've got something scribbled down, I can add it in here and I can create a design. So in order to do something that was fairly simple, I've actually created a prompt. And I'm going to just copy it over. And there we go. So create a spiral diagram showing the evolution of AI from rule-based systems to generative models, right? And there's a little button here, which is generate visuals. So let's click on that button and you'll see it does a cool little, got a cool little UI here. And here you go, evolution of AI systems. So it's actually used AI to, do a little bit of research and then generate this diagram or this infographic. And on the left here, you can go through each one. So like that looks really, really cool, right? I mean, that seems like an actual designer would have created it. This one's kind of simple. This one's more, kind of circles, circles within circles to show that, how it built up over the years. There's this one here. There's a little bit of I like this one, the spherical one. It's like a funnel. There's this one here. So for example, let's go back to the top here. So we can click on that, and then there's different versions within each of those. So you can kind of tailor it to maybe if you have a color scheme for the company you work with, or for the company you own, or you just want to have it designed a specific way. If you want to go minimal, you can keep it just black and white. And something. So for example, I like this one. So if we click on that, then you've got it right over here, and you can go ahead and you can literally change the color, the width of each of the lines. You can really tailor it exactly how you want it. But off the bat, within seconds, for free, you've got something to go on. And if you want, you can just go in the top corner here and you can click download, and you can download it as a PNG. Another part of Napkin AI is you can generate with AI. You can draft with AI. So for example, they'll give us some examples here. So the best practices for hiring interview, or picking the right CRM for your sales team. Maybe a brand proposal for plant care company. So you can literally put in just one prompt and it will generate off of that prompt. So you don't even have to provide the information at all. So you can go and literally create that. So it will basically generate, first of all, the breakdown based on your prompt. So you can literally go through this, and it's like you can see, it's done the logo, tagline, marketing strategies, vision for the future, product offerings, target audience. And then what you can do is you can go to each of these and you can generate, maybe for the target audience, you want or maybe the product offerings, you want a diagram or infographic that fits that. So you say generate visuals, it will create a little section below that and it will add in the visuals. So again, you can go through all of these different styles, and you can basically, so like for example, like that, and we can add in some like visuals. I like these links with the visuals. So these are the solutions for plant care kits, workshops and classes, subscription services, and online community. And then you've got it in this document. And at the end of this, you can just download this entire document, and you've got, you know, from one prompt, you've got text, you've got visuals, you've got a full-on business plan if that's where you're leading towards. So, Napkin AI, really, really cool. I'm going to be using this in my videos, just to generate some infographics going forward. I think you can sit on Canva for hours and design it. So, if you can do this in a quicker manner, why not? Alrighty, so the next one is called Replicate. Now, if you've ever wanted to experiment with maybe a variety of different AI tools without actually committing to a subscription, Replicate is perfect for you because it's a pay per use model, right? So you only pay for what you use, and Replicate is a stack of different AIs, be them text, audio, video, whatever the case is. There's a bunch that you can use, and you only pay for what you use, right? So if you want to maybe upscale images, or you want to generate text to 3D models, maybe you want to test AI tools like text to video, Replicate allows you to explore a massive library of different AIs and different options. So for example, I will show you the one I'm using at the moment and I'm training. So this is called Flux-dev-lora-trainer, right? And this is very interesting because it is an AI that lets you train your face via images you upload, at least 10 images, or other features, but usually your face, to create personalized images, right? So you upload a few photos, you set a trigger word, which is in this case Jagger, and in about 20 minutes, you can generate unique visuals. For example, you know, make me a futuristic astronaut, or put me in the medieval times, or, whatever the case is. It's cheap to train, and it's even cheaper to use once it's done, right? So the main cost is actually training the model. After that, it costs like cents. It costs next to nothing. So this is great for creators who are looking to create something new, because you ask yourself, this sounds pretty stupid, and I agree with you. But think about if you're a content creator and you want to create thumbnails, right? I go and look odd taking pictures against a white wall, and then I remove the background and use Canva and generate it, and maybe add a couple of effects. With this, it looks so much like you. You can create the environment, and you can just use that in your thumbnail. So pretty cool. Let's see how it works. So I'm in Flux-dev-lora-trainer here. And what you do is you go and create a model. I've created one called Jagger_Flux_demo, and then you go and upload a number of images. So I've already done that. And if I go to Flux images here, I have got, this is the zipped folder. So I've got a zipped folder of at least 10 images. So you'd upload that. You then have a trigger word, which you can put as anything. It's just like when you're going to call to create a specific style or concepts that you want to train on, and you want to create the image. So in my case, I just call it Jagger because it's of myself. And then the one thing I've learned is for the LoRa rank, you kind of want to increase that to around 30 plus, right? So put it on 32, 34. It just will increase the quality of what the outcome will look like and how it trains on the data. And once you're done with that, you can create your training set. So once I've got this up and running, I will come back and we can have a look at the results. Alrighty, so we are here and we've got the model trained. So what we'll do is, basically what you need to do is initiate with the trigger word. So myself, Jagger. So you can see it goes blue. So it's noted that that's the trigger word. And I'm going to say as a Roman gladiator. Just watched Gladiator 2 and I thought it was pretty trash. Okay, so we're going to run that. And now it will take the images I've taken, take my face and pop it onto a Roman gladiator. Let's see what this looks like. There you go. How's that? All right. So, but there you have it. So we'll try another one. So let's try Jagger as a crazy computer scientist gone mad because of AI. This could be funny. Alrighty, so it's just loading up. Now, how crazy is that? I mean, that looks like me. So yeah, you can take this and you can create a thumbnail out of this. So pretty cool. And I definitely think I at least get some use out of it, and it makes me smile. So I hope you guys can too. So go to Replicate, add in like $4 or $5. It takes about $1 to train the model, and then it's a couple of cents just to generate images. And yeah, just get 10 images of yourself, high quality ones, where they can see your face, don't have too many shadows on you or different things. I just took my thumbnail, so it had text in there, it had a whole bunch, so you don't have to have just the images itself, but and that's done a pretty good job. So yeah, that is Flux. That is Flux, and we will go on to the next one. Alrighty, so next up we have Presentations.ai, right? So this is an AI presentation maker. Think of Napkin.ai, where we can generate infographics, where with Presentations.ai, we can create full-on PowerPoint presentations just from prompts itself. So again, you can try it for free. There is a paid version, but you can try it out for free. So definitely go check it out in the link below. So just a little bit about Presentations.ai. So for me, this is a massive time saver. If I'm creating slide decks, by just adding a prompt or adding in the content that I've got scribbled down, it will generate that presentation almost instantaneously for me. So you just kind of type in your topic. You can choose a language. There's multiple different languages. Maybe your slide count, and then you can provide information via, text. You can input a URL. When you sign up, you can also input your website's URL. So, for example, with my newsletter, AI the Boring, I've added in that. So it will actually tailor the presentation to your color scheme, to your logo. It'll try and pull in as much of that information as possible. So you can do that, and you can also upload a PDF of information. So if you've got like a PDF deck that you want to put into a slide deck, it's very quick and easy to do that. So if you prepare the content on each slide, you can then review that first before approving each one. And then once you're happy, you kind of just click the approval button, and your presentation will be ready. You can then go and edit it, and can switch between different templates to see what vibe you're going for and what you like, and you can adjust those themes. But most of that work is already done using AI. So if you want to save hours on your presentation, definitely check it out. Let's get into it. So looking at it here, I'm going to start with investor pitch deck for presentations, AI, and an AI powered presentation app. So we're basically creating a pitch deck for an AI-powered presentation app. This is the example that they give us. So if we go, so here, for example, you can see the website URL you can add, or you can add the information, but we're going to keep it just as is for now. And we're going to do 10 slides for that slide count. So let's click submit. Alrighty, so it's going to give us a whole bunch of information. So I'm actually going to update that to www, or actually, no, the boring problem statement, solution overview, target market, business model, competitive advantage, core team member introduction. So, we'll just leave it as that. And then funding request, what we're asking for, generate the outline. So it'll ask you for the information based on that initial prompt. You input that information, and then it will further know how it wants to, present that. And over 10 slides, or, however many slides you've indicated. So you can see it's building it out here. So here we've got each of the different slides that we can open up, and this is what it will show us on the slide. So now something with ChatGPT, for example, will give you as far as this, right? It will say, I can help you with a slide deck. This is what should be on each slide, but you've still got to go and design it. You've still got to go and, create the slide deck, and, tailor it to, how you want it to look at in that final version. But with this, we have branding options. So you can input the website URL, but you can also choose the color palette, right? So they've got a bunch that you can choose from. So Evening Breeze, Cornell Red, Deep Orange. So for us, I'm going to go with blue, because AI the Boring is pretty much that. And then if we go with fonts, you can go, I always love Inter, but there's a whole bunch of different fonts here that you can choose from, right? And then you can go create presentation. So it's not just like, here's a prompt, here's a presentation. It's a prompt. Let's break it down. Let's input each thing, and then let's generate it for you based on your color scheme, based on all these things. So even if you know the color scheme of the company you work for, and you can go get that hex code, you can input that in as the color scheme, and you can make sure that it fits that. So it's not just generating some random presentation for you. Alrighty, so here is our presentation. So we can say play slideshow, and look at how cool that is. Transforming presentations with with AI innovation. We go to the next one, and it moves nicely. It's got the transitions down packed. It's got some stock photos, which I guess you could replace. So there's the challenges of creating. Here's the transform your presentations instantly. Also some beautiful infographics in here that have just been generated. Understanding our target markets, that's done well. And yeah, so I'm going to pop out of this. You can see how cool that looks. And then you can go and say, remix. Let's just get rid of that. So you can go remix, but what I want to do first is I want to go to templates. And these are a bunch of different templates that you can apply. So maybe I'm like, oh no, I really got it wrong. This doesn't look great, but this Flux one looks amazing. So I'm going to select that. And it will go and change the entire presentation to fit the Flux template. And you can start just getting closer and closer to that final goal and create presentations like in a matter of minutes where it may have taken you hours. So you can see it's changed, or it's going to change. Yeah, so it's changed slightly there in terms of its outline. But yeah, so this is really awesome. And then what you can do is you can share this with your team, add your team members to this, and they can then collaborate on this. They can go ahead and take it and remix it. You can kind of have a couple of standard AI slide decks that you guys use, and then you can just go and prompt those, and you can use those slide decks that have been saved as templates within your business, and you can just generate quick slide decks out of nothing. And this was also just off of initial prompt. So it's actually generated all the content for us. So if you have the content, it will tailor it towards the way you speak, the way you write, and obviously the content itself. That is Presentations.ai. So the next tool is NotebookLM, which I've covered in the past, but I'm going to reiterate now just because I think it's one of the best tools out there at the moment, and it's really revolutionizing how we do research. So if you don't know what NotebookLM is, it allows you to basically upload any source material, right? So this could be anything. It could be text that you copy and paste. It could be a PDF. It could be a YouTube link. It could be a website link. It could be any format of any sort of documentation or research or anything that you have that you want to understand. So in my case, I'll give you an example, and you can see on screen here. I work a lot in responsible AI, and one of the things I look at is the regulations within Australia where I live. So there was a PDF, or there was a document that was released by the Australian government publicly, which looked at regulating artificial intelligence in Australia. So that's great and all, but it's a 255-page document, and I don't have the time to read it. I don't think anyone has the time to read that many pages. So NotebookLM was the winner. So what I did was upload it as a PDF, and then what it does is it summarizes, which ChatGPT can do, but more so, it gives you a couple other components, which are really powerful other components that enhance the ability of, or enhance the way that you do your research. So I uploaded the PDF, as you can see here. I'm in the Google Studio for NotebookLM. And so you upload the PDF, it analyzes the PDF, it gives you a summary. And then what it does is in this tab, in the Studio tab here, we have audio overview. So you can load, and I've covered this in the past, and I'll pop a video somewhere on screen covering this in depth, where you can load up or you can generate an AI podcast. So it's a podcast with two AI hosts discussing your content and your source that you've uploaded, or sources that you've uploaded. So in this case, I'm going to click load. It will load the conversation. I have loaded it before, so it shouldn't take too long to get up and running. And once that's up and running, we'll come back and we can have a listen to it. And then I'll show you what interactive mode is. Alrighty, cool. So it didn't take too long. So this is a 17-minute podcast. Usually they're between anything from like 5 to like 15, 20 minutes I've seen. So this is quite a long podcast dependent. And I think it's because obviously we have such a large document. But I'm going to let you listen to this for a few bits, and then we will get into interactive mode.
All right, get ready. We're going deep into Australian AI. I've got this huge Senate report from November 2024, and wow, it's a lot.
That is pretty massive.
It seems like they covered everything. The state of AI in Australia, the risks, how they're thinking of regulating it, jobs, even the environment. So our goal today.
So I'm gonna pause it there. So it literally is a back and forth, is banter, and if I'm on the tram or the train, I pop my earphones in and I'll literally listen to this, and that gives me a much better basis than trying to dig through over 200 pages. So a way to do research is pretty amazing. On top of that, what we're going to do now is we're going to look at interactive mode. So, interactive mode allows you, and this is in beta, so there's a little bit of a delay sometimes, but works pretty well. It allows you to join the podcast. So think about it. It's like you sitting in the room, and I need more information on a specific topic. So I ask the host for more information, or ask them questions about a topic, and they give me answers. So let's try interactive mode, and I'll show you how it works. Cool. So I'm gonna press play and then I'm gonna join in.
All right, get ready. We're going deep into Australian AI. I've got this huge Senate report from November 2024, and wow, it's a lot.
It is pretty massive.
It seems like they covered everything.
Whoa, did someone just break the fourth wall? Let's hear it.
Hey, could you give me more information about AI bias? I don't really understand what that is or how it works.
That's a great question, and it's really important to understand.
Yeah, let's unpack this. So, what exactly is AI bias?
Okay, think of it like this. AI systems learn from data. If that data is skewed, the AI will be too.
Skewed how? Can you give us a real world example?
Absolutely. Say an AI is being trained to predict loan approvals.
Okay, I'm with you.
If the
I
training
want to
data...
carry on listening to it, but that gives you an idea, right? So you have interactive mode with the audio overview. It's really amazing and something I have covered in the past, but that's probably one of the most powerful tools. But there are some other aspects of NotebookLM that are worth mentioning. Another thing I like to do in collaboration with the audio overview whenever I upload a large document or I want to understand something a little bit better is if you go back to the studio, you can create some other documents. So the big one I like is study guide. If I click study guide and I generate a study guide, which I've done before, but I'll generate a new one, it will generate a pretty much like a quiz that you can go step by step through and try and answer. So I listen to the podcast. That's my flow. Listen to the podcast and then try and answer the quiz. And whatever I can't answer the quiz, I'll go back to the podcast and ask those questions and I get that information. And, you know, 8 times out of 10, I go into a meeting pretty confident about the information that I read, even though I listened to it. So really powerful tool, NotebookLM. Let's open up the study guide quick. So you can see here, here's the short answer quiz. These are instructions, and then these are the answer keys. So you go through the questions, try and answer it, and then you can obviously see the answers down here. There's also some essay questions. I don't really look at those because there's quite a bit. But NotebookLM, man, really, really cool, a powerful tool. Definitely start using it, and this is completely free, which is mind-boggling. The next tool is called Pinokio, and if you've ever used open source applications and you're a big fan of open source, like I am, Pinokio is the way to go. It allows you to install, run, and control a range of different things, including AI applications, but also databases, servers, whatever you can think of, right onto your computer with one click. The problem with open source has always been that there's some sort of labor involved. Still in today's age, you have to install dependencies. You have to use the terminal on your Windows computer, or I think it's the command prompt terminal on Mac, and you have to go through quite a series of steps in order to install something locally. With Pinokio, once you've downloaded and installed Pinokio itself, which is just like downloading a .exe and installing it, you can then install any AI app that is on that is provided and start using it. And you can do it locally. So let me show you what it looks like. I've installed Pinokio, and once you load it up, you can go to the Discover page, and there's two types of AI apps. So this is literally to me, this is the AI app store, right? Apple has an app store. This is an app store for AI applications that you can install locally. It's like a Steam store. It's amazing. So you can go to verified scripts, which are verified applications, and there's also community scripts, which are obviously a little bit more raw. They haven't been verified, so you have to kind of, be careful. But if you know who's developing it out and you trust them, go ahead. But we'll go back to the verified scripts, and I want to show you a couple of these. So, for example, Fish is multilingual text to speech with voice cloning, right? Supports a range of different languages. So, if you want to do text to speech and you want an AI application, you want to run it locally, there you go. You can install it, and you click on it and you'll go download. And once you click download, it will go through the steps. It will install the dependencies. It will just install all the parameters and platforms you need in order to run it. And you'll basically see a command prompt window pop up, and it will run through those steps for you, which is pretty cool. Another one here would be something like the ultimate video editor powered by natural language. So, if you want to do video editing, using AI. That's pretty cool. But the one I want to show you is bolt.diy. Now, if you've ever seen any of my other videos, you'll know that I'm a big proponent and a big fan of no-code AI applications. So, no code being that you don't need to have coding knowledge and you don't need to use any sort of coding expertise in developing out web apps. And bolt.new is a very well known no code AI builder. So you can build websites, web apps, whatever you can imagine, and you can do so just using natural language prompts, right? So you can just type in your prompt and you can build out something. I'll link a video to some of the stuff I've done over bolt.new so you can get an idea if you haven't looked at it before. But bolt.diy is a fork off of bolt.new, right? And it's a community driven version that is open source that allows you to do pretty much what you can do with bolt.new, but you can do so on your own machine. And the thing I love about it, and I'll actually bring it up before we get into that, because I've got it open over here. So let's just run through it quickly. So once you go and click on download, so I've already downloaded bolt.diy. Once you click download and you install it, you will basically run through a list of different prompts. And then basically you will be given, you'll see here, it will welcome you, and then it will say, please wait until the URL appears here. It will pop up your URL. There's also a support page that comes up, but your URL is your local host, right? So you'll click on that, and that will load up your local host, which is over here. So you can see I'm on localhost 5173, and it's bolt.diy. This differs from bolt.new. So this is your open source version. What I love about bolt.diy is it allows you to not have to rely on the LLM or the AI that bolt.new have used in developing out their platform to develop out your web apps, right? So you don't have to rely on that. You can rely on any LLM. And if you go to this drop down, you can see there's Anthropic, so guys behind Claude, DeepSeek, which is a big, brand new, well, not brand new, but a really up and comer that beating a bunch of different standards, and it's really beating OpenAI and Anthropic, and doing quite wonders lately. So DeepSeek's pretty cool. Google, Hugging Face, OpenAI, which is our ChatGPT guys, Perplexity, and a bunch of others, right? So Llama's there. So you can basically connect via an API call or via your API keys to any LLM, and then use that as the base of what you want to prompt. So it will use that LLM when you prompt it to develop out what you want to develop out. So I'll show you how I've done it. So I've done DeepSeek, and you'll go and click on DeepSeek Coder. And then what you'll do here is you need to add an API key. So if you don't have one, you can click Get API Key, and it'll take you to the website where you can sign up and get your API key. But I've already got one. So you go to DeepSeek, pull the API key or create one, and then paste it in here. Once you've pasted it in here, you'll click OK. And then you can go ahead and prompt it as you would usually. So for example, build a newsletter website for AI enthusiasts called AI the Boring. And if we click on that, this is then going to build this web app locally. So it will do everything bolt.new does, which is build the code for you. You can see it's building out the packet.json, and it's building out our code here. And then we've got a preview tab, which will load once the coding's done. and it will go through its steps here. It will create the package and go through the steps one by one. And it works exactly like bolt.diy, but this is running locally. The one thing you ought to just consider is that your machine is strong enough that it can handle this. But for the most part, for a lot of these AI apps, it can. So you can see there, it's running. Well, I'll skip ahead to once we've got a preview. And there we go. So here we have a very, very simple but very workable web app that is working, a website. So we've got our newsletter, AI the Boring, your weekly dose of AI insights minus the hype. Enter your email, subscribe, and what to expect. And we can build on top of this. So that's the beauty of it. And the beauty more so is that we can do this locally. We're doing this on our laptop. We're building this. We're plugging in APIs. We're connecting to DeepSeek in this point, and we are paying for that. So that there is, you can set a limit, but that's a couple cents, maybe a couple of dollars, dependent on how much you prompt. But you can then get away from like no one has control over any of this. So it's all in your full control, and you're hosting it locally, and you can build to your heart's desire, which is pretty cool. So if you ever wanted to see how to get bolt.diy going up, and you've been seeing bolt.diy and you're like, what is this? I've known it as bolt.new. This is how it works. This is what it is. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. And yeah, if you the just to reiterate, you go Pinokio, install that, and then you can install any web app you want. For example, bolt.diy, and then you can start using it, and you can use it locally, which is pretty awesome. Alrighty, so that's the main 5 AI tools I'm starting 2025 off with. There are so many others. I keep finding them day to day. Even if you just go check out that Replicate, there are tons of tools there that you could play around with forever. So I definitely advise you go do that. Go check it out. Go play with these tools, see what you enjoy, and see what makes you productive. That's the main point. Thank you, everybody. I will see you on the next video.